All right, are you all leaving because you want to catch your breath over?
And then the very mechanical craft work like at the end there. So tell us more about that piece, my friend.
So Yin Yue's piece, the way she choreographs is twofold. One is she's very interested in the actual construction of the movement itself. And the movement is very complex. The inner rhythms are very, very, not just complex, but she manages to put in tiny movements into spaces that there's almost no time to do them. But somehow they do. And then her construction of the whole piece is there's always some kind of an idea of spatial and also community type of situation. So that's her motivation. She's influenced both by American contemporary movement, but also brought in her own idioms and styles of movement that stem from some Chinese dance.
And have you worked with her before the company, or this is the first time?
This is the only piece that she's created for us so far. This piece originated in a workshop. We went with the company and her to Michigan, to Kalamazoo, and the university there, Western something university. Sorry about that. And we created the piece together with students of the university. So there was an initial version of the piece, and then she separated the piece into a slightly lighter version for the students and the real version for us. And we've been performing it now for several years. It's a piece that's very successful with different audiences as well. Dancers, if anybody is available, can you come out and...
You've been dancing with the company, my friend, and what do you like most about it?
Hi, I'm Mikhail. I'm from Italy and been dancing with the company since 2017. I love this company because we are all from different countries and, different culture, and, dance bring us all together. I think it's just really beautiful. And working with Igal is always a pleasure because you always feel like home. Even if you're close to your family, he always make us feel that we're like home, which is beautiful. We never work under pressure, so we always enjoy rehearsal, having great time, laugh, which is beautiful. And yeah, we are grateful for him.
What's the you trade?
So I studied Digital 4. I did some contemporary at the beginning. Then I trained ballet in the Academy of Rome. And then in 2017, Igal asked me to come into the United States, and I moved here and I started the certificate program, which is part of the program that they have at Peridance, which is 2 years program where you can choose between the ballet contemporary track and then the commercial track. And then after you graduate, you have the possibility to join the company. And I had the opportunity to perform with the company while I was in the certificate program, which was beautiful and also made me grow the dancer that I am today, which is I'm grateful. Thank you. The commercial track, the dancers study different technique, which can be voguing, or they do also hip hop, voguing, Broadway, yeah. But they also do anatomy, dance history, which is good. Yes.
Okay, also, some of the other dancers, you think they might be ready to, come and share something else with us? Maybe, kind of, sort of. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to ask you your name, rank, and serial number, as in where you're from, how long you've been dancing with the company, and what's it like dancing with a company with so many different just sort of styles, incorporated into it.
Hi, I'm Elena. This is my second season with the company. I'm originally from Alabama, so I lived there for 18 years and then went to college for dance and lived a couple other places until I got this job. I went to North Carolina School of the Arts for my degree. Yeah, I love Perry dance. There is a really diverse repertoire. I grew up as a competition dancer, so I did every single style, so I really appreciate that. Even like in my professional career, I can tap into different styles.
Hi, my name's Anthony, and I'm from California, and Central Valley of California. I studied at San Francisco Ballet School, and then I danced at Cincinnati Ballet back in 2019, and then I joined Peridance this past year, which is it's my first season, and I grew up primarily dancing in all like classical ballet and a little bit of contemporary ballet, but this was like the first time I've been exposed to like various styles, especially styles that come from like multiple like cultures and like other places around the world. So it's definitely evolved me, and I'm very grateful to have been here like this past year because it definitely made me grow as an artist for sure. So very grateful. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ayala, and this is my first year as well. I joined with Anthony to the company, and actually the diverse repertoire is what drew me to audition and to want to join the company, because it's such a joy to get to adapt and morph into different styles and learn from so many different people and get to like try on a bunch of different faces and shapes and ideas. So yeah.
Good.
Hi, I'm Igal, and anybody else want to talk?
All right, dancers, going once, going twice. Dancers should not only be seen, but they should be heard. All right, it's awesome. Well, thank you very much, Igal. Thank you, dancers. All right, pound for pound, best.
Well, I'm from Ohio. I have family here today. This is my first season with Peridance. They've been wonderful. I love every second of it, the creative process down to meeting new people, meeting different choreographers from all over the world. It's been a pleasure. And doing stuff like this. So I actually started in musical theater, and then I transitioned into competitive dancing. And then I moved here to follow my dreams. Yeah.
All right. I mean, your parents come all the way, not halfway across the country, but a good portion across the country. So shout out to Jacob's parents for supporting him in that way. So, okay, well, thank you again, Peridance. Thank you, Igal. We've got one more wonderful company to present this evening, and